Hello?
That's enough of that bitch. I'm just paying the bills. You know what I mean?
Are you?
No. This is just a complimentary to hopefully they pick me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, how's it going, man? Introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing.
I am Michael Jochems. That is my name. I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm not enjoying it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What aren't you enjoying
I
about
met,
Texas? Actually, is it just the people, the weather, not being
I
around a
mean,
bunch of
it's
old
Texas.
people? What is
That's a
it?
pretty big. It's Texas. I mean, that right there would be enough to make most people leave. And most people did. I think I think the biggest fear that Mexico had when we took this part of the country was that we would start branding everything with this stupid Lone Star logo, and that's what happened. And then a bunch of people, and then Joe Rogan moved here to do his podcast, and he was followed by a stampede of people who had one time thought about doing stand-up comedy and are pretty sure they would be able to do it great if only Joe Rogan was in the area. And now those are all of my
It's
friends
reverse
after it.
reverse kryptonite. You know what I mean? They have to have them near them to be funny. No, I
Uh,
mean it is wild that you can get away from a place from LA and then become like almost more toxic in a different sense.
I don't know about toxic. I
That
just
might be a harsh word for it,
catastrophically unfunny.
but
I
yeah,
think
you just took all the people that I couldn't afford to live in LA, moved them all to Austin.
and then gave them a really shitty open mic, and now they're like, "This must be what doing stand-up This is going to be a really gay podcast if it's just me bitching. I'm sorry. I should have
No, you're
said
good.
I wasn't.
I got some points. I got some stuff we can go over. I got a couple little videos we can watch and stuff. You're into all that
Yeah, when you
stuff.
called me the other night, I was a lot
I went
higher,
really
and I
hard on the
think
production value on the last one, so this one I'm just gonna dumb it down.
when you called me the other night, I was a lot higher, and I woke up this morning thinking like, I'm not. Should have recorded then, like he was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, that would have been a good one. You were on fire right then.
Uh,
But did you did you see all the new?
is that a photo of Michael Jackson behind you?
No, that's Elvis.
Okay, people are gonna be thinking that we're recording on like a fucking 180p resolution right now. Not that my glasses need to be updated.
No, my son drew that in art class, man.
Your son's eyes as bad as
Yeah.
mine. No, sorry. What are we? Okay, what were we saying?
No, I was saying, did you see how the tide is turning on Diddy? How he's got like people
Nope,
coming to
no
spoke
idea.
on his
Martin
positive behalf
Renkmeyer
now.
and Ben Martin.
Yeah.
The only thing that I know about the Diddy saga is what my friend Martin Renkmeyer does on stage for the last 2 years.
I mean, he does a good job of covering it.
Well, I'm still not up to speed. What are people mad at him about? He didn't pay some
Well,
like traffic
they
ticket.
weren't really mad at him until they all saw the video. Like everybody knew that he beat the shit out of Cassie and that he's been, hiring male escorts and like this shit's been known for a long time. But then once the video comes out, then all of his friends have to be like, "Oh, you know, you knew he was beating her up before that." The whole thing like once the video comes out, then that's when everybody's upset. It's like you guys, if anyone, it's just like me trying to explain, like, if I dumped Lindsay off in the pond behind us. If you've ever been to our house, and you'd be like, yeah, I could totally believe that. But
You have a pond behind your house?
yeah, there's a pond.
Why are you?
There's a sign back there that says no alligator, or like don't feed the alligators and stuff.
I was wondering why you kept getting pissy about me trying to take a piss behind your patio, but I figured that's because you had a kid.
No, no, it's just more. There's like a bunch of old Jews out there, and that live around here. Like everywhere.
Probably a really well maintained golf feature.
And I think, which is funny because I usually have at least one Jew at my house to make sure I can get away with these jokes.
Is that the rule?
Well, I
You're
don't know,
supposed to
man. You
keep
know what I
him
mean?
in.
It's just like
I think I knew what was up about
it's like
7 years ago.
I don't know. I don't know if that gives you the J card or not, but like my neighbor's kind of a pain in the ass. Even though like he's essentially a cool guy, he's just like someone who checks all the boxes. Who's not a cool guy though. You know what I mean? Like he's got a cool dog. He smokes weed. He's single. But then
Yeah, that's what it takes to be a cool
yeah,
guy.
but then he like will call like the HOA on you for having expired tags and stuff, you know.
But he smokes weed and he's got a dog, so it's...
The dog is pretty sick though. It's a French bulldog. It's a pretty sweet dog.
Is this the part that you're gonna clip out for TikTok?
No. And I did have a dance plan, but Jed had to go to bed, so he's the choreographer. But hey, what did you think about the? I'm sure you saw this. Let me put a video on the screen and see what your reaction is to it.
Door with a special device because it can only be opened from the outside and with this special tool.
No, total left turn. I'll tell you what's going on.
It looks like they staged a photo op.
I mean that's pretty obvious. I mean, they do that. Hey, everybody knows they do that for all the landings. Even if like they're really going there and coming back, they're still staging. You know, it's like a red carpet event. Whatever. But it is just pretty funny to like see Bezos going up there, which like that guy doesn't work.
It's funny still if
I mean, he might be a tool, but he doesn't know how to use one. You know.
People shit on Jeff Bezos. It feels like he catches a lot of shit that they want to. He's just a very rich guy who's good at business, and then hit the point where you're rich enough that you're never not going to be rich.
Yeah, highly autistic, great at business, horrible at everything else.
Is that what his thing is? I think he's just a smart and successful guy. No, but like you'll see those, like, I don't know, you don't hear of him saying anything retarded like Elon Musk.
Yeah, I mean that's true. He's very silent. The most words that you ever heard out of his mouth came out of his wife's mouth, or his ex-wife's mouth, in that like a divorce trial that they had, which was pretty brutal. What a payday, dude.
Yeah, what did she get? Like $20 trillion?
Enough to fuck a skinny, small, bald guy. I don't even know if he's skinny, but
he's actually in great shape.
He might be now.
People making
like all those guys now, they all want to be Rogan, which is funny.
I was like, yeah, no, actually, his ex-wife had the right idea. I should do that.
I was telling Lindsay that I want to find like a 16-year-old kid from China, North Korea, just a genius, you know what I mean? Just adopt him long enough for him to get like a Hope scholarship.
Adopt him, that's what.
Yeah, like save him from China, take care of him for a year and a half, send him off to college, and then hope that, you know, like he takes care of us. You know what I mean? Like it's like a little investment. It's like a year and a half investment. It couldn't cost that much, and the payout could be great.
How much does it cost to send the child to college, and how many times do you have to do that for?
I don't know. Well, I mean, this is sort of like the slow burn version of it, but I'm pretty sure like you could just hang out on one of those highways in China, and maybe like catch one that they threw out in the bag.
If your plan is to make money off of stealing children from the
oh no, I'm not stealing them. I'm taking the ones they're not allowed to have. Because in China they have regulations about how many children you can have. So
well, if you want a more cost-effective way of going about doing it, you can fit like 80 children in a shipping crate without like regulations ever fitting.
I just want one that's gonna become a genius millionaire and then take care of me. That's the whole thing. Is you're thinking way far expanded than me. I just wanted to befriend one Asian boy, take him out of a rice paddy, you know, show him some fucking the higher side of life, you know, what it's like to ride around in a car that wasn't made in Japan, preferably a German one. And then, do you know what I mean?
You got a new pope.
You know where I'm going.
Yeah, no, I got it. That's why I'm trying to redirect to the pope thing. We got a new pope.
Okay, you beat me to it. You want to watch this?
What?
Let's watch this video.
Yeah, we got a new pope.
Here, I got 7 things you didn't know about the Pope, curated by some gay Latino guy. All right.
That's a whole name, and he's 69 years old. King Pope Francis made him a bishop. That multilingual swag. Number 7.
So he was in charge of picking bishops or bishops.
I think listicle TikTok has really fallen off from the last time I saw one. The first fact was his name.
Yeah, I watched like 50 videos to pick the right one, and every time I keep going back to that one because I was just like, this guy is sitting there like this, like, Fabrito Garbestes, eh?
If you wanted to make a listicle TikTok, here's some astounding facts about the new Pope. 1, 0 little boys have come out with accusations about this priest for the last, and then you'd be like, that's got to be the record.
That's huge.
And then
Tom Brady of popes.
True. You do one good one, and then you can let a soft one over the plate and fucking.
Well, if he's from Chicago, he probably knows Chief Keef, that's a number 2 plus for me.
I don't know who Chief Keef. I didn't
Chief
know
Keef
who,
is probably the third most famous rapper from Chicago. After in sequential order, 2 would be Twista. Number 1 would be our boy Kanye West.
Is Kanye from Chicago?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I thought he was from the. Nah, never mind. Okay, so I'm cheating. I brought up the Pope because I wrote.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Hey, no, this is part of what we do on.
Hey, did we ever say that this is what the podcast
It's
is about?
no, this is the comedians. It's Comedy Coroner. This is where comedians come to die, dude.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I feel it.
So,
All right, so this is what I was writing while driving to an open mic. Yeah, that's it. That's most of what
I mean, that statement with those glasses is sort of frightening. Writing while driving to an open mic. Sorry, that was a cheap one. My bad. I love you, dude.
No, it was just it was like on the road watching a YouTube video with where they interviewed the Pope's new brother, and I was writing a longhand.
Holy shit! Yeah, let's go.
Driving with my knee.
I can't wait to hear it. Hold on, wait. Can I do one thing? Can I do one thing before you do that?
What's up? Yeah, no, just do the thing. Don't interrupt me to not do.
I just didn't want you to start. All right, here we go.
Go. Okay, that's go. I'm not gonna do the whole bit. I'm just like I wanted to talk about his brother. This is what I wrote about. Is his brother was on the TV getting interviewed for fucking for just being Pope's brother.
So this is like, Robert Prevost' brother you're talking about?
Is that his? Yeah.
Pope Leo the 14th.
The new Pope's brother.
Leo the 14th. Robert Prevost was his previous name.
So his brother was on the. You do it. You do the bit.
No, I don't know the bit.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. The Pope's brother was on the TV. Levi, shoot.
I didn't see the bit. I have no idea.
I'm dying over here. That's why they call it the Comedy Corner. Now do a sound effect.
All right, I got that one.
Okay,
Right, let's move on to the joke.
Oh, no, this isn't even a joke. I'm just... All right, fuck it. Yeah, so... Hang on. I'm just gonna... God damn it. You remember when I would get drunk and I would yell at people for recording us at Big Top? And I'd be like, I can't allow there to be physical evidence that this can't get out. That's what this feels like right now.
You know what's funny is... I was literally... I was drinking out of that same cup earlier, but proceed.
The fucking...
that's to go. Yeah, that's my drink to go cup. Is what that was.
I've got about 40 pieces of McCurdy's dining ware stacked up around my room, mostly for like holding pens and ashtrays, etc. That's about all I use it for. But I remember packing my shit together for the last time, and I was like, I can't believe that I've got 8 of these mugs. Fuck, this doesn't make for good content. So the Pope has a brother. And the brother was in Chicago, and he was on TV, and they asked him how it feels. And his brother was like, fucking great, man. It was my brother, the Pope. Feels like I can just give up on ever making mom proud.
He's like, Thanksgiving sucks now.
Yeah, I had a good year, too. I bought a pontoon, but that didn't make it into the Christmas card.
I'm just going to have the whole family on the boat. The only one with a boat, but they're all just going to be talking about the Pope.
Just and that's not even something that you can use, where it's like if your brother's a senator, at least you can scream at a cop while you're getting a DUI, where it's like,
or at least you can blackmail your brother when you have to help him bury a hooker, dude. You know what I mean?
Like with the Pope, what are you gonna do?
Nothing, dude.
You know who my brother is? He's the goddamn Pope. Okay, where are we at?
No, I mean that does seem like just a wild thing to. Because you hear people like all the time, they're like, my brother is the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, that's like something, you know what I mean? Like, that's going to get them out of a ticket. But like, being like, my brother is the Pope.
Like Hawaii.
You know, who do you call? You call Dan Brown then? I don't know.
Who's Dan
This
Brown?
guy that wrote the Da Vinci Code.
Okay. I thought that sounded familiar.
All right, what about this?
Yeah.
Mother's Day, man. Did you?
Nope.
He said no.
Nope. Nope. Called my grandma. Called my other grandma. She asked me to call my mom. I said nope.
Well, I called my mom on a Ouija board.
Oh, is she dead?
Yeah. She's. I don't know. Have I ever told you my mom's history?
Break out the Ouija board and you're like,
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not what that means. Those are acronyms, obviously. No, but my mom, she went to prison twice for manufacturing methamphetamines.
Good reason to go.
I'm pretty sure one of my stepdads was pretty good buddies with Timothy McVeigh.
Your stepdad?
One of my stepdads. I had like 5 of them, dude.
He was the one who was holding down the fort while she was in prison.
Well, the second time they both went to prison, he was the first time our house got raided. I'll never forget it, dude. I mean, obviously, how couldn't I? It was the last day of 9th grade.
Right.
And I was riding home with my friend Alex. He was driving me on the handlebars, and we were like, "Go."
Alex was like, "Hey, Levi, you got to come and stay out late. We're going out to make out point and throwing a big kegger."
Pretty much it. It was like Tumble Dam with like
I go out late. My mom and my stepfather are real hard asses about bedtime.
It's real hard to sneak out on your parents when they don't sleep, dude. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's much easier when they're being dragged into the local courthouse.
Oh yeah. And then the cop's like, "You live here?" I'm like, "No, nope. No, I was coming here to buy drugs, sir, but I'm a minor, so." But anyways.
When was the last time you were at McCurdy's?
I was there on Thursday, trying to support Jacob. Yeah.
Cool. Did it work? Did he win?
I mean, you know. I love Jacob, but no, I mean, he went up against some pretty good comedians.
Cool.
Tommy D was there. He's one of the winners. I know you know who he is. Old guy. He looks like that dude from that Canadian parody fishing show. Yeah, exactly. Damn, dude. There you go. Fuck yeah, dude.
You know, I don't
That's
know
why I fuck with you, though, bro. You know all this weird ass shit that I know.
Dude, like half of my merch is inspired by fucking. I don't think I have any right in front of me, but I've got like. If you go on my Instagram, it's MJ_comic. The merch that I sell after most shows is like, it's this roast instructional. It's called Fighting Words, and it's a guide to how to write roast jokes and shit. It turned out exactly how I wanted it to. It's like it's advice, but it's mostly a joke. It's an entertaining little thing. And the whole time I was making that, I was thinking of the red green. He made this little like I forget what it was called, but it was like the Boy Scout manual. It was just him doing different gimmicks with where like there's a crossword puzzle that's impossible to solve, but the actual crossword spells like fucking help me or something in the black stuff. Or he's like got a thing that you can design to keep your kids occupied during long road trips. Here's how you turn the hood of your car into a projector movie theater and shit like that. And I've done so many like stupid one-off gimmicks that I kind of want to get them together into a red green. But it was always inspired by red green. That little book I had when I was 8.
Was that the only one that thought that like this is the grown-up version of Pee-wee's Playhouse though? You would have like the dude that would stop in through the window, you know what I mean? Like,
I never saw Pee-wee's Playhouse. Earlier on the phone with my grandma, I told her about how I was at the Alamo last week, and she asked me if I saw a red bicycle underneath in the basement. And I was like, oh my god, I forgot about Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Did you ever see that movie? Where Francis stole his bicycle and hid it at the Alamo?
Your fucking grandma came up with that reference? That's wild.
Yeah, she wasn't sure if I would know that one either, but anything that was on VHS.
My grandma calls me my dad's name, I'm pretty sure. It's like, that's how surprised she is now.
Right. But like that little gimmicky fucking joke project book where it's just a bunch of disparate ideas that they had pushed together. I wanted to do one of those as like a Florida almanac, and I ended up dialing it back. I don't know if I ever showed you called it a history of sunshine. It's like an abridged history of the state of Florida.
Oh, I love that.
started 14,000 years ago.
Are you from
when,
Florida?
No. Nope, I'm from Minnesota, but I grew up in Florida.
Both sides of my family are from Florida, which explains a lot about me. I'm sure to you.
No, there's a disparate type of people all over the state of Florida.
Well, I mean, like I claim to be a local. I mean, technically I am, but I'm not.
I actually have the Florida State motto jotted down
go.
for my notes.
Is this to remind you that how much you hate Texas?
Shut the fuck up, God damn it. Yeah. No. Tell me more about being from Florida.
No, I want to hear the Florida State.
Nos propter auxilium non extradite. Will egestis, which do not extradite for child support or lack thereof. No gypsies. That's the Florida State motto. I didn't mean to tee it too high, but it was something.
No, that's good.
Let's see. Every time I look up, I'm looking at like disparate notes for bits that I haven't finished writing. That's what I remember. I got like a one-liner about being an alcoholic, about how it's better to wake up in a puddle of vomit than just covered in vomit. Because if you just wake up covered in vomit, then you have to go and find vomit.
Yeah, I mean the puddle. You know where it came from, I guess.
Yeah.
It's so funny you say that. Lindsay has been like sick all day, like heartbeat at like 120 beats per minute, like can't hold anything down. Yeah. And she woke up like trying to give me a blowjob.
Right now. She wishes that you were up there putting hot compresses.
Well, I'm like, if you would have waited 30 seconds and then like if you would have actually started sucking my, I would have been like, damn, I just made her gag and choke. You know what I mean? Not knowing she was already sick. But she didn't, and then she was just sick, and I was like, well, thank God she didn't throw up on my dick. Which I would have been like, that would have been sick, though, you know what I mean? Like, how many guys have been like, dude, I made her throw up on my dick. It was, you know, and you're like, dude, you're still white. I've heard all your jokes. I think Martin has a joke.
Yeah, I remember when she came out to the last, I think we talked about this when we were on the phone the other day, but you were running your normal set at Kava Bar, which is a bad place to have an open mic because there's a reason that we serve alcohol in every comedy club. Not because we want people to be more intelligent and like in the moment while we're trying to do stand-up comedy. If anything, we want them tuned out and numb enough to not hear anything that we say, but kind of be guided to laughing just by the cadence of the voice and shit. And it's dead silent in there while you talk about beating your wife. That whole, and then he's like, it was very funny in an abstract way. The people in there were horrified.
Yeah, dude.
Lindsay was sitting behind the stage, so you could watch you tell the jokes, and you could watch Lindsay be upset by the jokes, which added a dimension for the viewer. Not the ones who were in the room asking each other, like, hey, is she okay? Should we call somebody? But I think that's the last time I saw Lindsay.
Well,
how's she doing?
I honestly, I can't produce her on video right now.
Sure, yeah. No, but you could show a picture of her holding today's newspaper.
Yeah, I mean, AI is sick.
What about Jet? How old is he now?
He's 8. You want to get an update about Jet? Okay, so on Friday, this is why I haven't been in like the comedy mix as much as I would be, which is not even.
I haven't noticed.
Yeah, I know.
Not in the state.
Thank you for pointing that out. But no, so I haven't been doing side splitters on Fridays because I've been coaching his football games on Friday nights, and then so we went 2-4, right, and then had a doubleheader that could have ended the season effectively. And then these kids decided to come out and like play their asses off. We won both of the games in the doubleheader. Slid into the playoffs in the last place. So then I had to go coach a game this Friday. I say that I had to. Like, I love to do it. Don't let me fucking talk shit about it. But
don't sound too excited, because then the parents get nervous.
I know, right? Slapping the kids on the ass.
Here's the most important part about the great sport, kids. Locker room etiquette. No rules. Remember? We said what stays in the locker room, what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room.
So second play of the game, dude. You know, Jet is exactly. We don't have a locker room, which is pretty transparent. You know what I mean? It's good for everybody. doesn't give anyone a chance. You know what I mean? So second play of the game, fucking Jet scores a touchdown, runs from the 5, dude, just up the middle. He's so small and I'm like, oh. They proceed to, I think, pile up like 30 points on us in a row.
Yeah.
It's ugly. And the kids are they're bitching about the referees. And I'm like, look, I understand you're complaining about the referees. I'm not allowed to say anything because I already got kicked out of the game like 3 weeks before that with the same referee that was in there. You know what I mean? It's getting kicked out of your son's football game as the coach. Bitching at a 16-year-old volunteer referee is a wild situation.
Well, giving the 16-year-old the authority over the game with a bunch of drunk parents, that might have been a bad call too.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy did suck, dude. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, he's 16 years old. He's not going to be.
But I started out being like, hey man, you should watch out for this, watch out for that, and then at the end of it, I was like, I'm so glad you don't get paid, you fucking loser.
This whole time I've been thinking of episodes of South Park that were like when Jeff Bezos coming up. I was like, man, I remember that episode of South Park where they had Jeff Bezos on. And now I'm remembering Randy getting drunk at every game, being like, I'm sorry, I thought this was America. How much are you allowed to drink as the Pee Wee coach? Is there a rule? Is there a hard and fast rule, or are you supposed to drink out of a flask?
I mean, like, me slightly undressing the fucking referee is in pale comparison to, like, my mom, the previously alluded to meth cook, like, beating up referees after baseball games at my games, dude. You know, like, I think I've come a long way.
Was, she's still in prison, or is she actually
No, she died. She died of throat cancer.
She should have taken she should have gone with the tact that it was not the meth that caused throat cancer, but who was the guy who said that it came from eating pussy?
Oh, that is
Michael Douglas. She should have gone the Michael Douglas.
Catherine Zeta-Jones has either a poison pussy or a great butthole. I don't, because I think HPV comes from eating buttholes. It doesn't come from the pussy.
Let's get the doctors down in the comment section to square that one up.
Let us know what's going on in the chat here. Where do you get HPV from? I'm pretty sure as a guy you get it from licking buttholes. And then you blame it on the pussy because inside you're really a gay guy that's licking buttholes.
Well, you do the gentlemanly thing and not talk about it, except on stage, obviously. That's
fair game. Except to call your wife out on stage. Which is so wild. You know, everybody talks about Will Smith. I mean, that was literally like a bigger bitch slap, wasn't it?
What?
I mean, they talk about like Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, but
you know what happened on my birthday?
To call your wife out for giving you throat cancer is wild.
I was on the patio smoking, talking to a couple of friends that came over, and then everybody inside was like, they were all circling around the TV where the Oscars were playing. And I came in and I saw that they were doing like the instant replay, and people were like checking on their phones to make sure that it was real. And it turns out that my birthday wish came true that year. And then Bob Holden, he was like, you remember back when they were complaining about how no black people were at the Oscars and this shit never happened? And
dude, I watched this video today called The Pandela Effect.
Pandela?
Yeah, it was about like how panda bears are fake, but it's like Mandela Effect with panda.
Yeah. This is a sort of
pretty clever. I mean, like, I only clicked on it because I was like, that's a pretty good title.
That's the sort of conspiracy theory that I get behind, where no matter what you offer them, they have. Well, I met somebody who was like, they were real quick on the response because they kept telling me how vaccines didn't work because blood plasma isn't even a real thing, because plasma is.
Well, I've been paid for it. I'm pretty sure it's real.
I'm getting paid for it on a twice.
Yeah, it's fucking $180 a week, dude.
This woman was like, it's not real because plasma has to exist at 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit to form. And I was like, that's a different type of plasma. And she's like, well, you know,
blood plasma versus fucking lightsaber plasma.
She got basically, that's what. But she was citing this book, and she didn't have it with her. So I was trying to. This was more of an exercise for me to see how well I could diffuse her schizophrenic bullshit in real time, and she just kept having a thing. she's talking about the Old Testament and how she's making like and I'm like, well, the Jews didn't write literalist interpretation of and then she's like, hey, because the Jews killed Jesus. And I was like, I gotta fucking just. Sometimes you gotta let one go so that I can make this other point. So I'm like, yeah, of course. And then I just rolled right on through. I doubt I changed her mind on a single point, but I did want to.
But you did verify to her that the Jews killed Jesus, so in her mind, she's like,
what else was I gonna do? Was I gonna tell her like, well, I mean, the people who had authority over execution were Romans, and there were 23 members of the small Sanhedrin of the 100,000 people living in Judea. Do they really all share equal blame for the political decision to kill the local? She's like, but blood plasma would mean we are on fire. I'm like, you know what, you're right. I wish I could remember a single like that conversation better.
Is she in Austin?
No, this is like 2 years ago.
I was say you should just introduce her to that smiley face killer that's running around there. And
is that what we have down here?
Yeah, you guys definitely have a serial killer.
I don't know who so I don't know who the smiley face killer is.
I don't know how much you know about this smiley face killer thing, but
I'm all caught up based off of what you just said.
Okay. Well, then, so Nashville.
I mean, I know exactly as
There's
much
like a lot of college towns where like athletes that have like a suspicion of being gay go to like gay bars, get drugged, and then end up getting thrown over bridges into rivers, and then like recovered like weeks later. And then there's like a cover up with like the autopsy, the forensic scientists and all the shit. Where they don't want to admit that there's like a serial killer running around these college towns because obviously it would like fuck up the.
The Texas might be the only state where that's less of a problem than those athletes being gay.
Jesus Christ.
So I don't buy that there's a cover up. I think if anything, they tried to plant this serial killer narrative in the media. To guide people away from the much scarier truth that sometimes college students are doing butt stuff.
You ever heard of like the Order of the Nine Angles?
Is that a Freemason thing?
No, I mean well, they say all this shit is Freemason stuff. Like anything satanic, like spawned from the Freemasons, which is just like wow, like. But no, like the OTSA, like it's in like Britain. They've actually like prosecuted a couple of these guys, but it's also like here. So some of these dudes that have been actually caught with like DNA evidence of like these smiley face killer murders have actually been traced back to like this one like online fucking group where they're all like getting like this secular information. They all have like the same kind of MOs with the crimes. Like they pick the same kind of guys. They do the same kind of crimes. Like they disappear. They're in the water, and then they find them like out of the water 3 weeks later, or like in the water 3 weeks later, but they haven't been in the water the whole time. You know what I mean? So like the whole theory is they're taking these guys, taking them to a secluded area, like making snuff films with them, and then dropping them off in the water later. And then there's also a like colluded cover up with like the government agencies that are investing in these things. It's like it's a pretty big deal. I don't know.
All right.
But Austin, Nashville. I think even
we'll go to the game
Knoxville, Athens, Georgia, and any major like Division I university that has a river running by it. Like you can say like these are drunk frat guys that are getting hammered and falling in the river, but
definitely a drunk frat guy thing to shove something up his other drunk frat guy.
Yeah. I mean, I would kill him too.
Well, no, and then unrelated to that he was just so drunk he didn't notice there was a carrot in his ass, and then he fell over a bridge. There's a couple of those spots, and I don't know if they would be good body disposal locations, but there's definitely a river that runs through the middle of Austin.
There's a river that runs through it.
Yeah.
Sorry. So what mics are you doing down there, man? What you got going on?
Don't ask me that. Dude, fucking nobody's gonna... I don't want to talk about open mics in Austin. I was on a roast battle at Creek in the Cave the first night I got here, and
What'd you do?
Shit, fucking pretty good. They have the same problem that everybody who runs roast battles in Florida has, which is that they don't know how long a show is supposed to be. which is why there was about 90 minutes of warm-up acts before they started doing roast
Why?
battle.
Why wouldn't you just get right into it? I don't.
You might want 10 or 15 minutes of warm-up act. That
Yeah,
might
just
get
no.
it
You just
going.
need one guy up there getting everybody ready, and then.
Might be an answer, but also I don't want to just fucking.
Are the roast battles, are they predetermined? Do you know who you're going up against, or is it just...
Oh yeah, I found out the same afternoon that I drove into town, which also kind of sucked.
Did your opponent have the same amount of time?
Yeah. I don't know if he was all wired up on trucker speed, just trying to get his car unloaded because he was in a. He's been driving
unload in
for
the next state.
about 36 hours, or however long it takes to get from Tampa here.
I don't think it's
I
30
got
seconds.
past New Orleans, thought about stopping.
Yeah, why?
It's pretty.
I've been to New Orleans once. I went there for Mardi Gras 2000, dude. I was a freshman in college. I got arrested for beating up a police officer, which, if you've seen me, that's impossible.
I mean, you've seen me. I've done it.
No,
You gotta get on the right tail of beer and pills, but you can do it from any size. The thing is, you're tiny, so you should be like going for the knees, trying to scooch
no,
around
no.
underneath them and get them
I
off.
elbowed this guy in the face because he already had me like right here, just hitting with one of these, and then took off into the crowd. And then an undercover cop like grabbed me, body slammed me this way, and like broke my collarbone on the curb. It was decent.
Yeah. So the first guy was a cop.
Yeah, both of them were cops. The first guy was an actual cop, like in his uniform. The second guy was like a plainclothes dude that saw me fucking take off and got me. But the actual cop that arrested me was like, "You're number 99." I was the 99th person he had arrested that night, dude.
Which means when you go into the jail cell, they give you a handful of beads.
If I would have been arrested 2 guys later, he probably would be on his way home, is what I'm saying. He's probably just trying to get to 100, dude.
Yeah, that's fun. You should get a T-shirt or something like that. Every cop should be able to get.
Nah, fuck that. I don't really have any reason to go to New Orleans. I've been to like every. If you need a reason to drink, you don't have to go to New Orleans. Is all I'm saying, okay? And if you need a reason to be haunted, you don't have to go to. You can just go to Charleston.
Is that a famous haunting location?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty good. Charleston has some good ones. Savannah, Georgia is a good haunted spot. They say Key West because of all like the pirate ships that died out there. That's a good spot. I don't know like how much I've prescribed to ghosts. Because like you said, we pre-mentioned my mom's been dead for a while, and she always told me she was a witch and she would like all this shit. But unless she's been watching me jack off, I haven't seen her, dude. You know what I mean? Unless she's been trying to ruin that with my son knocking on the door, or fucking Lindsay having IBS to where I have to. And that's the only inclination that there's a ghost.
How many? Did you hear that?
Is your roommates?
My roommate's yelling at me for being loud.
Are they all hetero cis males?
Nope. No, that'd be nice. I could deal with that. I could steal food from that. But no, these are.
Now you're fucking stealing soy milk, dude. You're like, this is killing me more than it's helping me.
Although, now that I know that.
Sorry,
I am.
Turn me down on your computer.
I don't think that you're louder than I am from their point.
Yeah, that's good. Dude, I have the same glasses that you have, but they're reversed. Mine are sunglasses. They have the same cork. Are those cork? Your glasses, are they cork?
No, they're just wooden plastic. Who makes glasses out of
I got them at the Greek festival across the street, dude. They float.
Greeks don't know how to make anything.
If a river otter attacks you, someone will be able to find your glasses. That's what I got from it. I'm like, is the cork gonna save me? They're like, no, they're gonna float while you're being killed by an animal underneath the water.
So it's like those floaties that you attach to your boat keys.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the last.
Just to let someone else steal your boat when you've been devoured by sharks and get your cocaine too, because.
Yeah, I live too far from. What are we at?
Natural.
You get used to speaking on. That's why I'm glad that I'm in the early ones. That you're probably going to delete when this is successful.
I wouldn't be a good interviewer if I didn't ask you about this, man.
What's that?
I said I wouldn't be a good interviewer if I didn't ask you about this. Mist came down to see you.
We went to the Alamo, and we went to Waco.
Those are wild places for first dates. I just want to know.
Cool. Yeah, no, she came, fucking saw the.
She's pretty smitten with you, bro. The Alamo. Oh, that was with her. I don't know. Well, look, hey, I do have one more thing I want to talk to you about.
Okay, what's
Have you heard of this the Mike Lynch conspiracy?
No.
He's the guy. He's like a UK guy who he invented like this software where you could like it's like a search engine basically to go through like government software. He sold it to like Bill Gates' company. Then he ended up getting sued by the UK for like I don't know, doing some kind of Edward Snowden type shit where he's like selling the software to someone else. And then he like won the case and then ended up like dead like 3 weeks later. And then his lawyer slash
whose car, like the computer on his car.
He was on a yacht.
Okay.
Off the coast of Italy. Here, let me play one video and we'll get into it.
Okay.
I'll watch this one.
Yeah.
Tragedy strikes the high seas.
Watch this one. This is his co-defendant right here. They just showed his picture in the last video. What do you think about that, bro? So this guy, look, let me give you some background. This guy's yacht was parked like off the coast of Italy.
Videos of that.
There was another yacht, another $2 billion yacht parked like right next to it. This yacht, like spun around, caught fire on one side, and then sunk, and then only a couple people killed. It was like him and his daughter. Everyone else escaped off the yacht. What do you think about that?
A poor person.
Direct weapon? Direct energy weapon?
Speaking as a poor person and a stand-up comedian who will never control the levers of power or send assassins to kill my enemies, it seems like a waste of a yacht. That was my joke.
Love you, dude. Thank you.
I know. What do you think of it? Do you want to tell us what you think of it?
Well, dude.
Sounds.
I mean, you know how I am. Obviously, they knocked him off and his co-defendant. Like, obviously. That's all. I mean, there's nothing funny about it except for like.
No, I mean like.
Except for like,
turns out a couple years ago that that's just a.
Him knowing that the Jews killed him is what's funny to me. Like, they're like, oh, they hit us with the damn weapon, the weather weapon. That's the only thing that I think is funny about it. He's like, oh, I got him, and then he's literally celebrating, smoking a cigar, like, oh, I beat fucking Bill Gates and HP and the whole United Kingdom government, and then, yeah, dude, direct energy weapon. But other than that, no, it's not much. That's what they like. I used to think that I used to think they stopped killing people, right? If you're a direct adversary of the government or anything, that the elites don't want you to know that they don't kill you anymore. They just kill your character. They assassinate your character. But that's proof that they will still kill you too. They will. Hillary Clinton will kill you too.
You ever see Jacob's Ladder?
Yes. Yeah, of course. Tim Robbins?
Yeah, the old one. I didn't see the remake. But at the end of the old one, I was thinking, like...
Yeah, that's the movie about MK Ultra, is what that movie's about.
It's not MK Ultra, but it's that like a peripheral.
I mean, MK Ultra is like a program that's changed names, but it's the same program. It's proliferated. It's still...
Well, at the end of this one, I was like, wow, that's crazy. What a good movie. I'm so glad that my government didn't actually go and do all of that very dark. And then right before the credits roll, it goes, in 1972, the U.S. Pentagon...
It hits you with the FOIA, dude. And you're like, what do you think, what do you think Tim Robbins' best movie is?
Fuck, what else was he... Hang on, I'm going to look up Tim Robbins' movie.
I got a couple here.
Shawshank,
obviously, yeah.
No, that's too obvious. I got to go with something else. Oh, he was in Mystic River.
Mystic River was good. I think Mystic River was right before South Park.
He was in Top Gun.
Fucking shit on Sean Penn. Remember that?
Is that what he did in Mystic River? Or
No, I mean... So the funny thing was, they were like, they had Sean Penn and Team America.
Yeah.
And he's like, and like everything he said in the movie, he literally like bitched at them and then said, they're like, well, I don't understand why you're mad, because you literally just said everything that you said.
Yeah, and they renamed the SAG to the Film Actors Guild. Oh, hey, like, just now, it made me remember to ask you. Also, cut out the part where I said the R word.
Right.
And just now, where I mentioned it.
Okay, I got you. What's Do you have his filmography pulled up?
I do. I don't know how to screencast.
No, it's
on
good.
here.
We'll
I
just
might
look
be
at it
able to-
together. I hope it's the same.
Nah, we can probably.
Oh yeah, I can totally do it, but I'm like 3.5 cup of vodka full right now.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. It's not a good bit. I miss Tim Robbins being in stuff. Now
He was in fucking he was in Top Gun. Dark Waters, Mystic River, Austin Powers, War of the Worlds, Green Lantern, High Fidelity.
I was telling people I was talking to somebody about War of the Worlds the other day.
Bull Durham was the one I couldn't remember in him. He was great in that. Dead Man Walking.
All right, what shows you got coming up? I got nothing to plug right now.
I got Visani's on Wednesday. Visani's on Wednesday. I have obviously host Big Top tomorrow night with Mr. Jake Vingler.
So you're going to be at Visani's on May 14th.
That's right. I'll be tomorrow night on May 12th at a Big Top. I'll be hosting that one, and then next week on the 22nd, I'm at McCurdy's in that contest. 8 o'clock. No, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. This might not be like a Nostradamus thing, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do all right. All right there. I've seen the who I'm going up against.
I mean, if Nostradamus was that vague, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do all right. Then that might be a Nostradamus thing.
Literally, this is low lying fruit. So I know at least 4 of the comics I'm going against. You know them too, but I won't put them out there right now. But hey, good luck.
You're the one who has to hang out with him. I don't mind.
Yes, you
No.
did get me right there. Yeah, fuck you, Jochems, and just beat me to the good weather.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a comic, I wouldn't advise coming out here. But if you want to see the show,
Oh no, like that's literally like.
Post that anyway. You can follow me on Instagram at MJ_comic.
If you want to be a rapper right now, move to Atlanta. If you want to be a comedian, move to Austin. That's what I would tell you.
And yeah, that's it right now. I don't have anything to plug, but you should follow me on social media. If you made it to the end of the episode, hey, props.
No. Look, Can I do the intro that I didn't do before?
Okay.
That I wanted to do that I fucked it up because I've already. This is my 3rd podcast today. I'm gonna cut all this stuff, but so look, here we go. I'm gonna play a little intro thing. All right, let me introduce our guest tonight. This is the 3rd episode of Comedians Coroner. A good friend of mine. He actually abandoned us here in Sarasota, Florida. He moved down to the mecca of comedy. This guy I respect a lot. Good friend of mine, Michael Jochems. Tell us about yourself. Tell us where we can see you right now, man.
I'm Michael Jochems, and I think this is where.
All right.
I think you should use.
Let me introduce
the intro.
Yeah, that one's trash. You want to try this one?
Shoot.
Introducing Michael Jochems. Sorry, they're so bad. They send me these. They're so bad. You got time for one more?
I got.
Powered by.
I think that's Max. There we go.
This
Fucked all that up. We'll do my actual intro, and then I'll introduce you.
You guys got a sponsor already?
All right, shout out.
I'm Michael Jochems. How many people do you have in the studio with you? Is that? Hi, I'm Michael Jochems.
I love the
So,
cheer
yeah,
on
you
that.
follow
Man.
me.
Eventually, I'll have some Spanish guy pushing these buttons. I mean, I wouldn't have a black guy. That's fucking rude.
Yeah, you got to get a Jesse from Joe. What's his name? Jamie.
Hey.
You're gonna get a Jamie.
The funniest thing Jacob
All
does
right.
say is, "Jamie, can you pull up some gay porn?" And it's pretty funny.
All right.
Anyway, that's the intro.
All right.
You want to do an outro real quick?
Sure.
All right, man. We're Creek in the Cave. We can see you there, right?
Fuck yeah. Anything that I got coming up, I don't have the date book in
Hey,
front
look,
of me, but
check my boy on the
my shows-
socials. We have some things coming up. We might be filming some sketches, some other stuff. But anyways, look at Jochems on the socials. Shout out your socials, bro.
At MJ Comic on Instagram. At MJ_comic. There you go. I had to take my website down because I got drunk and fucked up the security certificates, and now I don't know where it's actually hosted at.
Yeah,
I don't think it goes
that's
anywhere.
what I told my son's parents that followed me on Instagram also.
I kept getting spam phishing attacks from Scandinavian hackers in the form where people are supposed to send messages on the website. I'm having our friend Mikey Havoc build me a new website right now.
Shout out Mikey Havoc. Look, man, hey, I appreciate you spending the time with me, dude. I love you, brother.
Yep. Good hanging
Hey,
out.
man, be
Don't forget
careful
to
out
cut the
there.
parts where.
Let me know if you need anything, dude. And hey, don't be a stranger.
Yeah. Send me money. I think it's MJ Comic on Cash App too.
Yeah, hit him up, dude.
Levi.
Hey, if you want, we can start a GoFundMe. We can just stand in the line after. We'll set it up.
I mean, if anybody wants to send me something, feel free. But we didn't ask for it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, dude. Love you. That was Michael Jochems, local comedy legend. Let's go. That was great. He had a lot of stuff to say, man. A lot of stuff. Glad to have him on. Glad that was my 3rd episode. You know, still new at this, still doing it. I don't want to tell y'all to you know, like and subscribe, but if you have to, you have to. And if you like comedy, you like local people, and you like anything that we're doing, then let us know, man. We appreciate you guys. Good night.